Hey guys, and welcome back to Kirby Planet Robobot. Today we're going to be checking out Area 5, Rhythm Route. This is one of my favourite worlds in the game, and it contrasts really nicely with Gigabyte Grounds, in which I didn't really have that great of a time. This is basically like Resolution Road, but funky.
Yeah, I've always liked it in games whenever they do, like, worlds based on, like, music and jazz and things like that. One of the earliest examples is, Rystar, Planet Sonata, the fourth world. I love that, and I guess, I don't know why, it just feels so endlessly creative to me, and, it usually has funky, cool music to help out.
As I said before, I'm not really a fan of, like, night-themed levels, unless they're filled with neon and whatnot. And wouldn't you know it, here's Kirby bopping along with a night level, and it's full of neon and whatnot. Sure, it's got, like, giant musical notes that'll push you to your death in the foreground, but that's the dangers of being a video game character. You just have to accept these things sometimes.
Yeah, when you live here in Rhythm Route and you have access to rent-controlled apartments, sometimes you just have to accept what comes with that territory.
Indeed. Did you have any trouble getting this code cube?
Not really, no. Like I said before, these cannons typically are pretty easier, you have a lot more time to be able to access them, but I would imagine, I think the only one I really had trouble with was one way near the end of the game. If I remember it, I'll let you know. If not, oh well.
Okay. Gonna be using Jet for a fair portion of this level here, and how would you rank Jet in terms of its combat capabilities? Now, its movement capabilities are fantastic. They let you burst through the level at near supersonic speeds, I should say, but combat-wise, I'm not sure. What's your take on it?
Well, I'd have to say Jet is more of a mobility base when it comes to combat. You'll want to be moving around a lot, and its abilities support that. It has good dash attacks, like a dash kick. There's like a charge-up move you can do, I believe, that also corresponds with a dash. You know what? I'm gonna look this up real fast, but as I said before, this game kind of helped me appreciate Jet more, because once you sort of understand how the powers work and all the various moves it gives you, they can actually turn out to be pretty fun. So I'm going to say Jet has really kind of increased for me these days.
Alright, let's take on this boss. First of all, you can get the fuck out of it. You're not doing anything in this battle. Oh, here's the original Kibble Blade. I was wondering what happened to him.
They do have 2.0, but the original version often gets downloaded, by people on older systems. Sometimes they want something that doesn't have, the meddling that it has. Like, this happened with, OpenOffice, Eventually they had to fork that because, some company took over and just completely fucked everything up. Happens all the time.
Sorry, you were talking about something non-video game related for a second, and my brain shut down to prevent memory loss.
Oh, I'm sorry. They need to make a version of Microsoft Word where you can get points for writing emails. That would make sense, right?
Well, you say that, but that sounds like a great encouragement tool.
I would not be surprised, because they do have various apps and, software. It's a technique known as gamification. And what that basically is if you have a goal you're trying to achieve, or, a habit you want to reach, gamification uses the principle that, you can do this and you can record it, and you can, level up, earn points, things like that. It works for some people. If something works for you, let me give a brief pause here and say I freaking love the mic version of the robot. And, I was watching this a bit earlier, and I'm kind of disappointed that even though you're, going through and you're blasting everybody very effectively, you didn't do that ability where he, slams the ground and summons, physical notes to kind of bounce everywhere. In a crowded room, that will just wreck the shit out of everything, and it's tons of fun.
I don't think I've ever bothered with that, honestly.
Like we've said before, when you get a new robot ability, you definitely want to check what's available. They don't have as many moves compared to, the Kirby copy powers, but they're still very devastating and great to use. I had a lot of fun with this ability myself.
Well, what the robots lack in variety, they make up for with sheer strength. I think that was the point, to contrast with Kirby, honestly.
Now, you can pop these, little snot sleep bubbles that these turtles have, but they'll just kind of switch sides, not really do anything. You need the robot to shake them up so much that they will actually move out of the way. Going back to what I was talking earlier about gamification, if you're trying to do something and you find a technique that works for you, hey, that's fine. Me, I've always been kind of someone, at least, in more recent years, where I can just say, okay, I'm going to do this at this particular time every day, and I kind of just follow through with it naturally. But that's the big thing about people. You have to find what works for you, and when you do find that, even if it is gamification, hey, more power to you.
You said the word gamification so many times now, the word's lost all meaning, to be quite honest with you.
Let's just say I gamified the grammatical language there.
But that's just a theory. A game theory.
I should fucking kill you, but I'm not going to, because later on we have to finish watching JoJo, and I need somebody to react with me.
Wait, indeed. Ah, that's more of a bunny. Oh, it's his glove. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, you know, I can definitely see how it'd be more of a bunny than anything. Like, you can pick up bunny-shaped little items to replace, like, Kirby stars to get a life when you're doing, you know, the Dedede tour back in Triple Deluxe. But I know they're supposed to be his glove, but I always think they're fucking bunnies. I don't know why.
Dude, I'm so picking up Triple Deluxe at the end of the month. I think it's time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, you've basically played it already. It's just kind of a different version, and you'll mostly be doing the Hypernova instead of the Robot. I still like the Robot a bit more, but Triple Deluxe, I feel, is slightly the better game, as I've mentioned.
Alright, going in with a bit of ESP, I am going to fucking scam all of the machines in here, and everyone at the tables, too.
Pretty sure you're not allowed to have psychic powers when you go into the casino. Oh, look how well I can count cards and things like that.
Well, if they didn't want me to cheat with psychic powers, they shouldn't have put a psychic-powered enemy in front of the casino. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just kind of wish it worked that way in Vegas. You know, you're gonna go up to a casino and you just get one of those quack psychics, but you get their actual powers, and it helps out a lot.
Oh god, it's David Blaine. This is the worst Kirby power-up.
I'm trying to remember exactly who David Blaine is. I think he was like, because you know, like, they have a lot of psychics, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, here's a challenge, I'll give you $1 million if you can actually prove your psychic powers, and so far, nobody's obviously done that.
Well, he's the, like, crazy stunt magician and whatnot. He's the bloke who, like, sat in a box in, I think, like, London or somewhere for, like, a week or two without proper food or water, and he was like, haha, just a prank, guys, LOL.
Here's a joke, that's how London always is.
This joke requires further study. I'll let you have it, pending a further review.
Alright, fair enough. I'm glad to see the board has agreed on that joke there.
I did that Waddle Dee a favour. You see what's coming.
The big thing about this section is that this will pop up several times throughout these particular casino levels. That big, you know, billiards balls, I'm trying to get the right word off the tip of my tongue. They'll roll towards you and you'll have to jump back between the foreground and background in order to avoid them. Really, that's a fitting punishment for sleeping on the job, don't you think?
Seriously, you are the worst power-up.
One of these dice again.
Do we have a full list of the power-ups available to Kirby in Planet Robobot mode?
Let me just grab that really fast.
I know there's like a few that are tied to Amiibo, the Smash Bros. Ones specifically, which basically gives Kirby like a couple of his moves from Smash Bros. Itself. I believe you can actually get those via a certain method in Robobot, but I've never been able to do it myself, mostly because I didn't really go out of my way to try.
The Smash Brothers ability is available through the Kirby amiibo. It has to be the Smash Brothers variant, though, or you can find a rare copy essence, which is the, you know, those little pedestals with powers that you find, you know, usually before bosses. UFO is available through the Kirby amiibo that's tied into the Kirby series, or through 100% completion of the game. Yeah, I totally fucking did that. And the other abilities have alternate costumes that can be unlocked via amiibo, which is Hammer, which is from King Dedede, Parasol, which is from Waddle Dee, and Sword, which is obviously from Meta Knight.
Kirby was the first amiibo I actually got, along with, like, Mario and Samus.
Wait, you actually have amiibo? I'm not saying, like, oh my god, why did you have amiibo? I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of surprised you had amiibo to begin with, because I never really thought about it, I guess.
I've got, like, 7 or 8. Shulk is probably the prized one of my, like, collection, so to speak.
Do you have Mega Man?
Damn right I do.
Okay, because, I mean, I've thought about getting Mega Man on and off for a while. I had a chance to get it at that convention that I went to, but I decided, I just ain't gonna do it. Because, I mean, like, for me, I really have to justify a purchase, I think, in order for me to do it. So, the other day, actually on my birthday, I bought a used Tiger Zord, you know, from Power Rangers, and I sat there, I hemmed and hawed over this thing, you know, I was like, but I'm not gonna use it, and things like that, but my sister's like, come on, you need to treat yourself, it's nostalgic for you, that kind of thing, so eventually I said yes.
Treat yourself, yes.
And there's nothing wrong with treating yourself, I just tend to be kind of stingy with the money I have, and mostly, I'll be honest, I buy a ton of books, so that's pretty helpful.
This is a time-sensitive code cube, so don't slack, don't rest on your laurels, and other related phrases.
Well, I mean, like, once you spur Kirby into action, that's the last thing he will do, slack off, because as we've seen, he'll just run through and he'll wreck your entire fucking spider base.
Yeah, Kirby is like a living contradiction. On the one hand, he's always shown sleeping at the start of an adventure, but he gets up and, like, goes out and does the business without even a single sip of coffee or anything.
That's true. I mean, like, you bring up a good point. He is always fucking sleeping whenever you start these games. He's always sleeping under a tree, or he just ate something and he fell asleep. I don't think he was sleeping, actually, in Squeak Squad, but the plot was, oh, they stole my food, I better fucking get it back, because that's what it was.
Some bitch is gonna die tonight.
Yeah, I don't care, I have vast psionic powers, and a robot, you mean nothing to me.
Gotta use the billiard balls to break the golden blocks, that's how the game works.
Still pretty satisfying to knock away these environmental obstacles because you have the robot. I mean, you really feel powerful and in control. Let's just sit here and let's analyze the, psychological benefits of having a giant robot underneath your command.
Well, my positivity goes up by +5 at the very least when I'm inside a giant robot.
The only problem is that my giant robot is powered by my sense of self-worth, and that's not always consistent.
Oh, Jesus.
Welcome to number 2. You are number 2.
I'm a poo. That's what I am.
I think we're all poos every now and then.
Turn your phone off, mate. I can hear that whir every so often and it's annoying me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just kind of... Oh, wait, no. I have to put in the little password
that
says...
Jesus. Hey. Jesus fucking Christ. It never ends. Oh, another factory level. I was looking forward to revving in the car and going vroom vroom.
Yeah, always a good excuse. They should have totally did a thing where you have the tower, but you get the car right away, and you just kind of zoom through it.
Yeah, just like a fucking Uber or something to take you to the entrance of the factory.
Now that I think about it, since you can make, like, Kirby partners, in some of the Kirby games, really only a few, they should totally do a thing where... you can get a wheel partner, and he's like an Uber, and he can take you to different areas. That'd be pretty neat. That
reminds me, actually. You remember that one Kirby game that was, like, slated to appear on the GameCube, but just, like, disappeared without a trace?
That's not Air Ride, because Air Ride actually came out. You know what? Let's look that up, because I don't know that either.
I think it's the one that eventually became Return to Dreamland, but don't quote me on that. Essentially, it showed Kirby, like, in a stack, and on the bottom there was, like, a ride... vehicle or something.
Kirby GCN, also referred to as Kirby Legend of the Stars and Kirby Adventure. Some of the aspects of these individual developments carried over into Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and it wasn't until the release of Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition that it was revealed that Kirby's Return to Dreamland was a successor to Kirby on GameCube. Okay.
There you go. Okay, this is a particular tricky code cube to find, because you have to take an exact, like, order of doors. It starts with the left one, then I believe it's, like, upper right, and then it's center. But when we get to the center, you'll have to look for a switch, so keep an eye out for that.
I remember this level, actually, because I've gone through it 3 times because I kept fucking up getting a particular code cube later on, so I got frustrated, and eventually I'm going through the wrong doors in order to get to where I need to go faster.
Oh, King Do. Just walking towards me, waddling even.
King Do? He should be king number 2. Hey, no wait, you're king number 2, so you two have a lot in common.
Well, king number 2 is a lot different from, like, plebeian number 2. Don't get them mixed up.
I always like the word plebeian because it sounds like thespian, if you squint long enough.
What's wrong with you, Hell Dragon? I mean, just stupid. Just so fucking stupid sometimes, which is weird because most of the time you're actually pretty smart.
Well, I certainly don't feel that way. Man, let me tell you, there's still a lot of work for me to do.
Citation needed, blah.
Yeah, I'm just like Wikipedia, like, I say a lot of shit, but I don't really know what I'm talking about.
Oh, we're gonna wreck some fools with sword Robobots here. I fucking love this mode.
Yeah, sword's pretty good. I actually like to take it into this particular mini-boss encounter. Now, in the background, these little skull marks will come down, and obviously if you touch it, they take damage. They remind me so much of the skull blocks from, like, the AVGN Adventures video games.
Oh, yeah, I've played a bit of that, actually. It is fucking hard as balls.
Now, I heard the second one actually dials back on the skull blocks, like, intensely so maybe that might be more up your alley if you haven't tried it already.
Who knows? Video games, etc. All that for one code cube. The shit we have to put up with.
Just going on a little stroll, you know, just killing everything in our path. Just a typical day for Kirby.
Mindless, ceaseless destruction. It's where it's at, really. Alright, it's code cube time, motherfucker. Set the spark going, wait for it to come on here, and then shift this thing back.
Now you gotta obviously move really fast and get to the other area you need in order to bring the, block forward, so you can get the spark to where it needs to go. Let me just tell you what's going on screen right now.
Alright, let's come in, get ready. Wow.
Now we're just reduced to making sound effects. I love it, actually.
It's fine, it's fine. Get the fuck out of here.
This one! Oh yes, I remember this one, because I was so confused on this for the longest time. It's really kind of hard to tell, but you can actually, as we did here, unscrew that particular thing in order to get access to the code cube. But for the longest time, I was like, where the fuck is this thing? I cannot find it. I had to look it up on game FAQs just to see what I missed, and I'm like, they didn't really explain it that well, so I don't know if I'm just stupid or if that's a legitimate flaw of that particular puzzle. I don't know.
If you remember the whole phrase lefty loosey righty tighty, you can pretty easily unscrew that thing and find the cube, but you've really got to be paying attention because I think that's mostly set up, you know, besides getting the code cube, to find a rare sticker and whatnot by doing another voltage puzzle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I guess that was how I was so distracted by it. It really kind of gives me a callback to, the infamous barrel from Sonic 3. It's something they don't really explain as well, but once you get it, you just feel kind of stupid for not really catching on to it, you know?
I don't need puzzles in order to feel stupid, mate.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have been able to feel stupid for most of my adult life. It's really not that hard when you think about it. Just buy more than you can afford, is what I'm saying.
Life and times at the Depression HQ, otherwise known as HellfireComms. We started this part so jovially. Oh my god, is it gonna be one?
Oh my god, he actually did it again.
We in there, son.
Oh, okay, it's because you were a ninja. It gave you the extra momentum, as you know.
Yeah, I held my arms out behind me. It just gave me a little bit extra distance.
And that makes me remember of that one, I think Ubisoft made this game. It was like a Naruto game that was actually surprisingly good. It was for like 360. I don't know if they ever ported that to the PS3. I don't think they did.
That would be one of the Ninja Storm games, would it?
No, those are the fighting games. I think it's Way of the Ninja. You know what? Let's find out really fast.
I believe two best friends played one of them, and it was actually a pretty good Let's Play until they started Zaibatsuing it up and things went to shit before slowly evening out for the end of the playthrough.
Hey, that tends to happen with a lot of playthroughs, I'll be honest with you. No matter who does it, eventually you're just going to have to provide some form of filler.
I believe we're going to have a bit more car Kirby action here, mates. Kicking things off with Wheel to begin with.
Always nice. Oh man, of course I'm going to have to rely on the Naruto wiki. I do rely on wikis a lot recently, now that I think about it.
Well, it's that sort of game, really. With 2D platformers, you do have to get a little bit tangential, I've noticed. I actually tend to struggle covering 2D games, and I've mentioned this many times before, but it's because they move at such like a fast clip, or pace, if you will. Like with 3D games, there's usually more filler, and things go by at a much more slow pace, so you have time to explain yourself. Here you're going at practically the same acceleration or speed as Kart Kirby itself.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit of a struggle, but just as long as you ramble incoherently, as I tend to do, you can get through okay. Okay, by the way, I have that Naruto information. Let me give it to you, because this is an exclusive here at Hellfire Commentary.
THD, gonna give it to you.
Naruto Rise of a Ninja is an Xbox 360 exclusive video game. This is developed by Ubisoft Montreal, making it the first Naruto game to be developed by a non-Japanese company. It was released for 360, and the sequel, which was a year later, is called Naruto The Broken Bond.
I think it was Broken Bond that they covered, but enough about Naruto and other weeb shit. It's time for a Code Cube puzzle. This one could be actually a little bit dickish. Have a look in the background. you gotta make sure you're paying attention to the layout of the level. Because if you take down that second one, that second wall, you will lock yourself out of getting this code cube. You need to come down here and take this wall out instead.
Yeah, as you go on, the Code Cube puzzles do get a lot trickier. Again, they're not too bad since it is Kirby, but you always want to make sure you're paying attention, you know exactly where things could potentially lead, because it is very possible and easy, as Tom said, to shut yourself off of particular paths because you triggered something a little bit too early.
Speaking of triggering something, this one is a race against time. You saw the bomb block back there? It's trying desperately to destroy a stone bridge down below. We need to get there first because that bridge leads us to the next code cube, and I'm pretty sure without that bridge you cannot make the jump across. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but you would have to do some MLG shit otherwise to get that cube.
That bit back there actually reminded me of a particularly tricky treasure chest in Squeak Squad, which was a game, you know, where you could collect those, and I had to race one of those down to the bottom. That one was a lot harder. You needed to be, like, practically perfect, but that one, in comparison that we just did, tends to be a little bit more forgiving.
Alright, place your bets, let's see where little Kirby will land this time.
Right on his face on number 2, just where it belongs. I landed in some shit, yeah!
Oh, just rain it on me. Oh, yeah. Do I really need all that food? I'm on a diet, you insensitive asshole. Oh god, no! Dark matter ain't nothing to fuck with, mate.
Yeah, Kirby EX, there you go. Follow the yellow and green road, I just noticed that.
Stripes everywhere in Kirby, mate. It's the fashion. It makes him look slimmer. Alrighty, let's move on to the last base level of Rhythm Route. Yeah, boy! Alright, we got us a train level here.
I seem to notice a recurring trend of Kirby being on trains and not paying for his fucking ticket.
Is Popstar a communist state? What's going on here?
Is that a game theory? Because you know how I feel about game theories.
Yeah, you're more comfortable with game facts, really.
Yeah, game facts tend to help. I can only imagine now that I think about it. Like, that's the problem with these kind of YouTube channels. Like, they have to put out shit like every day, sometimes multiple times per day. It's like something that started back when blogging used to be the most popular thing before, like, you know, YouTube popularized essentially video blogging. Like, you know, oftentimes when you have more frequent posting, like throughout the week, that way you get more readers, more visitors, things like that. But as a result, you know, a lot of these channels will just come up with the stupidest fucking inane shit in order to meet that quota. So you get shit like Game Theory, where they postulate about the dumbest fucking things imaginable. You don't really care, but they have to post it because how are they going to keep their channel going?
Yeah, just the dumbest shit like Go On becoming relevant again in Dragon Ball Super. Don't make me fucking laugh, guys.
Well, I also saw that one picture they did of what was it, like, what they're calling it, the Multiverse Tournament arc, and I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you guys already fucking do that? I mean, like, I haven't watched Super, I'll be honest with you, but I'm pretty sure that happened already.
No, that was just a grudge match between Beerus and Shampoo.
Okay, but still, it kinda did the whole multiverse thing. They're just taking that and just expanding it, which is odd, but okay.
Well, 17's coming back, 18's fighting. Hell, even like TN and Master Roshi are there. Master Roshi will get put on his arse faster than you can say, oh my god, he is a pervert and he should be probably locked up for an indeterminate amount of time.
To be fair, he was really cool in Resurrection F, because he just fucking did the work, and he actually took charge of everything, which I thought was awesome for him, actually.
I've only ever watched Resurrection F for the Dragon Ball Super version, to be honest with you. Was it any good?
Well, I only really watched that bit myself, because sometimes they had clips of it on YouTube, but I've watched a few clips, and that practically makes me an expert.
You were watching to see if Vegeta killed Golden Frieza, weren't you?
No, by that time, I knew Vegeta wouldn't kill Golden Frieza. That still pisses me off, by the way, but whatever, I'm over it.
Alright guys, it's mini-boss time, and it's a familiar face. It is Hammerdude.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're reusing the same mini-bosses over and over in order to pad things out. Not that that's bad, but still. Now I'm gonna get rid of my really good power and get the short-ranged ability, which is admittedly still pretty good.
Dude, hammer fucking warms ass and even stops ass a little.
Well, I mean, I would hope so. It's a gigantic wooden hammer. It does the business.
Also, like, in all seriousness, we do need it to actually get a code cube, because there's a... You see that thing in the background, that little one stake? Yeah, only hammer can knock that down.
Yeah, out of habit, when I was playing this game, I always got the abilities of the mini-bosses, because again, usually they are required to access code cubes, so there you go. Unless they give it to you here, of course.
I don't know why they put that power up there, because there's no enemies, like, near the starting door of this area, and it's an auto-scrolling thing. So are you really going to drop your hammer as soon as you enter and see another one post?
I have a feeling that's probably just, like, again, a backup sort of thing, just to go, okay, well, maybe the kids will actually do this.
And some game designers just sitting there laughing at all of us, having a good old chuckle.
To be fair, some adults are that stupid too. I should know I am one of them.
I didn't need the hammer. It's fine.
No, it's fine. You know, I totally have everything in control. It's cool. Where is the food cart?
Should have been along by now. Anything from the trolley days? Oh no! I punched the trolley lady with my robot. My giant stony robot.
To be fair, if there was a food cart, that thing would probably be emptied out the minute Kirby walked in there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just keeping track of how many Kirby likes to eat jokes we've made throughout the course of this playthrough. I think we're at least approaching the number of people that can be found in mainland China.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That is a lot of Chinamen and women.
Well, not only that, those jokes, and also, you know, Kirby is angry in the American version jokes. There you go. Wait, why are they hauling, like, what are those? I know they're not... The kind of fucking truck. What are they? Forklifts. That's what they are. Why are they hauling them on this train?
Well, as we've seen, none of the trains we've been on so far are of the passenger variety. So I guess it's just like cyber or like post-modern freight trains or like delivery trains. Who knows, really? I don't fucking run the Dreamland train service. What are you asking me for?
And they are staffed with alien betas, so maybe their, you know, goals and methods are much different than ours, and we cannot hope to understand. I gotta say, now that I think about that, you know, it recalls the speeches that the Reapers would give you in Mass Effect, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to a drama. That's gonna be interesting.
I want someone to take Sovereign's speech and then just cut back to Kirby in like the anime or any of the games going, "Hi!"
And then Sovereign knew he fucked up.
Oh, Jesus, the ultimate evil.
Do you think Kirby could take Sovereign, actually? That would be interesting.
Oh, well, first of all, yeah. Second of all, you know, scratch that idea. The ending of Mass Effect 2, but instead of all the Reapers coming, it's an army of Kirbys.
Oh my god, that's even more fucking terrifying. Hell, I mean, he split himself into multiple copies in several games. I wouldn't be surprised.
There you go. Alright, time to get the final code cube of the level. Oh, a bit of mass destruction for you here. I love it.
This one also gave me some trouble because I would, you know, go into the tower, knock everything down and things like that, but I just could not figure out where the hell this code cube was, so I actually ran through it a few times.
There you go.
Then I'm an idiot and found out that it was up here.
Level over. Helldragon's dream shattered. Everything's good.
You know what else is going to be shattered? Your chances of landing on a number 1 cloud again. Except, of course, now you fucking do it, thus making me look like even more of an asshole than I already am.
Well, that's karma for you, bitch. Drink it in.
Ugh, karma tastes like shit.
It does taste like shit.
Whoa, man, you get all of the stars.
That is a particularly aggressive snowman. I'm kind of uncomfortable. Who could it be? I literally don't know. Aw, just a hamster, really. A big fat hamster.
Sometimes it feels like when you unlock these stickers in this game, it feels like kind of the stupid shit you would get in loot boxes in Overwatch. Like, you know, you work so hard to get them, but they just give you, like, crappy sprays and voice lines you don't really need.
Yeah, you pull in from your experience archive here, I take it.
Yes, I am, Tom, because for my birthday, I got, like, a gift card to Battle.net, and I immediately blew it all on loot boxes, of course. And I make no mistake, I got some good shit off of it, but a lot of them were just stupid sprays and voice lines that I didn't really need.
What was the worst one you got out of that particular set?
Well, I can't tell you because I only remember about the good stuff that I got from that. And it was a spray that I immediately forgot about. I think, like, one of them was, like, 3 sprays in a row. I'm like, I don't use this shit.
Alright, let's do it. EX stage time, baby.
I'm trying to identify what those, ink blobs in the background are. Well, they're not ink blobs. They're just more like genetic things that they're making in the tubes back there.
Oh, I actually know what they are. We'll see them in the boss fight of this world, actually.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it's been long enough that I forgot that.
So the aesthetic design of the level is actually tied into, like, the narrative and whatnot. How about that for fine, high art?
That is a pretty good game theory you have going there, my friend.
Is that a remix of Dedede's theme I hear in the background?
I think it is?
It's a very, like, discombobulated version of the theme. It's like when people do remixes and they add a few too many beats here and there and it kind of throws off the whole song and whatnot. Oh, this is the bit right here where you need Ninja to cut a rope. So we'll take out the fish, as we are wont to do. Go on the wall here, bada bing. You gotta really, push yourself to get this one, because it is an auto-scrolling section.
I definitely had difficulty getting that particular code cube. Just getting on the right spot on the wall and shooting the rope at just the right place. It's surprisingly more tricky than I thought it was gonna be.
Alright, back in the city. That was a really fast train. It's like, vroom.
It didn't even bother to stop. I guess it just kind of kicked you out.
Yeah, basically.
Well, to be fair, I mean, like, Kirby tends to ruin any train he goes on, destroying everything and things like that. Eventually, the train just opens up on the side so he can fly out.
Yeah. Alright, make up your mind, level design. Jesus, we've gone from, like, train to city to factory.
Yeah, man, he's just jumping around all over the place. I mean, that's the point of the EX levels, just to go, fuck it, logic, I don't need that shit.
Alright, make sure you keep the stone power up, because you can't move these, like, little things here without it.
You'd think the robot would be heavy enough to do that, but I guess it needs Stone Fist, you know that one quote from Sonic Battle. Have you even played Sonic Battle now that I think about it?
I played it for a little bit, maybe an hour or so, and got bored and never played it again. It's just the same boring isometric battles over and over again. I'm trying not to stereotype or generalize it, but I think people mostly like it because of the writing and, like, the art and music, which, to be fair, is pretty good.
Yeah, the art's okay. The writing is better than I expected. I just kind of wish it was more a generic Smash clone. But with Sonic characters, I really feel the shitty kind of isometric final fight sort of thing they had going on with it kind of ruined the combat for me. But still, I played way too fucking much of it. I have no idea why. Was the robot just fun enough to mess with? I don't know.
Who knows, really? Who knows? Good old bonus area time. You're mine now, forever.
Well, at least until I get the next one and discard this power that I already have.
Now, I've already done one of these puzzles before, so we shouldn't really need to explain how to do it again, but I'm going to anyway. Bring it to the foreground.
This one is a little bit trickier, though, because I've actually missed, You know, sometimes in the heat of it, when you're trying to figure out how to do it, you'll just miss kind of the obvious placement, and then you'll just feel like a fool. That's happened to me before.
Oh, the heat of battle when the code cubes are on the line.
Man, let me tell you, I am not good at getting stuff done when I have people watching over me. I kind of panic a little bit, and I keep making obvious mistakes, only reaffirming that they need to watch me more, which bugs the shit out of me like you would not believe.
Well, you play Kirby Planet Robobot in front of other people. That's the only way that previous statement would make any sense.
Well, I was talking more about life in general, but, you know, when it comes to, like, speedrunning video games, I can definitely see how that would be a problem as well.
It's fine, I didn't want or need Ninja anyway.
I don't really want or need Doctor, but I have a feeling we'll have to acquire it down the line.
We all need Doctor at some point in our lives, right?
Yeah, you know, do not try to fight an illness... Well, okay, well, I guess it depends on your immune system, but you guys know your own fucking bodies, alright? I'm not a doctor. I'm not even that much of a commentator on YouTube, I'll be honest with you, but I do it anyway.
Alright, where's that last tricksy code cube? It's gotta be around here somewhere.
I kinda hope it just shows up in an obvious place, hey.
Oh, it was in this desk drawer. Huh.
Well, I mean, in Resident Evil, you'll often find key items in just simple desk drawers. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens with a code cube at one point.
Oh, Oh, I sense a boss coming up. We're gonna whip it. Whip it good.
I don't know, I personally would go for Cutter on this one, but it's your playthrough, I guess. I mean, I can't change it now, you already recorded it.
I love his, like, recolor. Shiny Telepathos is pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to collect, though. You have to be in a certain patch of grass, at night. It's really ridiculous. By the way, I'm still trying to play Pokemon Sun. I just have not had the time, or I have not scheduled it very well, but trust me, I'm still going through it.
Where are you exactly, like, in terms of location in the game? Sorry, I didn't mean to, like, phrase that statement like I'm a robot or something. It just came out weird.
Where are you at? I only recently got to the second island, and I'm doing that shit where you have to chase the wishy-washy around.
Aww.
I'm not too far in, I admit, but this time I've actively put it onto my schedule. I actually found an article today, honest to God, from a site called Hardcore Gamer, about 6 ways to clear through your backlog, and I was so interested, because most days with blogs like that, they'll have to do posts like that in order to get attention. I'm sitting there going, how the fuck are you going to do this about video games? And they actually sit down and they label out, like, step-by-step strategies to get through your backlog. I'm like, this is so unnecessary, and yet it's still kind of helpful. I love it at the same time.
Well, here's my guide as to how to clear out your backlog. 2-step program, pretty easy. Step 1, play the game. Step 2, move on to next game. Problem sorted.
You would be so surprised at how hard it would be for most people to just do a thing they've been meaning to do. It's surprisingly more difficult unless you don't know what you're doing.
Right, I'm particularly in the mood for some bomb action here. And trust me, we will need some explosive firepower going forward.
Leaf is a good, defensive kind of option. But I have to say, when I did use Leaf to clear the True Arena back at Triple Deluxe, it wasn't really fun. It was just more of a thing I just wanted to do to win, so.
Oh, is the True Arena in Triple Deluxe as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. True Arena has been a thing for many Kirby games.
Oh, I hear a song coming on.
Do 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 do. We are #1. Hey.
Oh, I make everyone in HellfireComms sing a similar version of this before we start comms every day.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking awkward when you think about it.
Well, if you got it right the first time, we wouldn't have to do retakes and whatnot.
I wonder what the Christmas party is at Haltman Works Company every year. I'm kind of interested now.
Yeah, it's funny. She comes off as like a robot, and so do like the other members of the Haltman Corporation, as we'll see later. But there's like at one point in the game, they're like specifically stated to be organic beings. So are they cyborgs?
I thought she was a robot at first, but it turns out she's more like a Rayman, which I'm not really sure if I like.
The mother computer, very important thing. I can't exactly say what it is right now, but keep that term in mind. It will come back to bite Kirby in his non-existent arse down the line.
I stole this from the Space Pirates. I hope they won't miss it. Meanwhile, Kirby just sits there and goes, alright, I guess I'll let you unleash the next boss fight.
Are we gonna start LARPing or not? I have my wizard's hat and everything.
I put on my robe and wizard's hat. No, I think that's the wrong LARPing, Kirby.
Ooh, interesting. That blob of purple jello is really agitated.
Kirby's like, I can eat that, right? I mean, I'm gonna try to eat that.
Huh? Wah!
Oh god, it's the X from Metroid Fusion.
Dude. Clone Dedede looks fucking awesome.
He's pretty alright. I have to say I much prefer Masked Dedede, I'll be honest with you, which shows up actually in the previous game.
Ooh. So yeah, tell us a bit about Dedede Clone, mate.
Dedede Clone kind of repeats some of his attacks again from the previous game, but the big thing about him, which he'll do in a minute, but I'm gonna spoil it now, he will clone himself into more copies of himself. And so you'll have like 3 or 4 Dededes on screen trying to hit you with all these different attacks, and it's very easy to get accidentally tripped up and tagged by one of them. It's surprisingly difficult to deal with when you're fighting the True Arena version of him, because he will just be fucking relentless, man, so you have to really be on your guard in order to take care of this guy.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, these dudes are like not in sync, so you have like one Dedede doing like maybe a hammer thing, another just like simply running at you, another like floating in the air, and it can really throw you off a lot of the time, so try and be on the ball. I know that's some really like limp-wristed, pathetic advice, but it's the best I can do for you right now. Just make sure you're moving a lot.
What I would recommend is when you're fighting this guy, actually do something with like your peripheral vision. You kind of want to expand it to all the screen so you can kind of see if a Dedede in the corner of your eye is coming in closer. I do that, and I tend to find that helps me when I'm dealing with encounters like these.
What do you think of the boss fight as a whole, mate?
First off, we have to get through this particular part of it, but I would say I actually liked it a lot. It is a good challenge, especially in the True Arena version of this fight. It really does keep you on your toes, and I like that. I have to say, I'm not sure if I prefer the bosses in this game over the bosses in Triple Deluxe. There is a boss in Triple Deluxe who I fucking hate. He's a damn lava toad that takes absolutely forever to open himself up to attack, and oh god, he's annoying.
Those are the types of bosses I think I like the least. The stalling bosses. Yeah, it's not challenge, it's just tedium, really.
Yeah, fortunately, there's nothing really like that in this game, so you lucked out.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I can't think of any boss in this game that made me think, oh, I'm just not having fun at the moment. There were a lot of bosses where I went, damn, that's actually kind of hard, but none that really pissed me off, so to speak.
Yeah, they're all pretty well designed, I would say, as a whole.
Okay, he's bringing out the Robotnik mech.
I never really expected this for his second phase. Instead of doing something related to his ability to clone himself, he just jumps in a giant fucking robot and tries to shoot you. Alright, Axum Rangers, let's do this, I guess.
Oh, why? Why did I try to jump when I'm holding a bomb? You cannot jump while you're holding a bomb. Anyway, this thing here is just basically a tank with like flamethrowers and like a particle beam cannon. Just, keep throwing bombs at it or whatever you have, really. Suck up loads of stars at once and jobs are good.
He'll obviously move around the arena based on the particular highlighted paths that he takes. Depending on his position, he'll unleash different attacks. Here's the flamethrower. Not too bad as if you use the usual strategy of kind of float up to the top of the screen. In True Arena, this phase isn't too bad, but again, you'll have to deal with increased damage, health, things like that. This attack can be tricky, though, if he launches more than one. But if you hit them, they'll knock them back at the boss, so you definitely want to try and do that.
Oh, where's he going? Oh, I'm gonna have to follow him with my key. He's moving so fast.
You really should be rolling more bombs towards the enemy, because that's my primary method of when I'm trying... Okay, and there he fucking goes and does it again. You just seem like determined to automatically debunk everything I try to advise you with.
Yeah, I've actually activated my Sharingan so I can see what's happening, and I don't know why I did this. I tried to land on the thing and landed in the beam itself.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that myself.
Well, I've got health to spare and whatnot.
Yeah, you have a pretty good handle on this fight. You got it down pat. Well, of course you did, because otherwise we wouldn't be talking over this particular footage. Well, I guess if Kirby can use a big robot, I suppose Dedede has the opportunity to do so. I guess that would explain this phase.
Oh, I love this. Check this shit out. Wait for it. Bye-bye. Uno, dos, tres, Dedede.
At least it's not SFX. That would just be awkward.
He was a king. I'm probably going to jail. Kirby's going to jail, yeah.
To be fair, he was evil.
Also, he was a clone, and I doubt he has a birth certificate, so he's not technically a living being.
Yeah, I mean, like, they didn't think Obama had a birth certificate, so technically he wasn't alive.
Obama's a clone? What the hell's going on?
Man, I would not be surprised. I guess Trump is one of the failed ones, huh?
Oh, that's weird. That's weird and wrong. Oh, we're getting into the serious shit now, guys. So we'll see you next time when we take on the final world of the game. Goodbye for now.